Tonight, one of the region's largest school districts still has no firm decision on when students could be back in the classroom. Ansley Daniel is live at the Washington County, Tennessee Board of Education, where leaders met in a called meeting earlier this afternoon.
Sarah, back in November, the Washington County Board of Education voted to keep kids virtual through January 8th. Today, they voted to push that back until February 8th, and that depends on local numbers.
Coming back tonight, there's not really a question that we could return immediately after we'd already made a decision to not come to school with lesser confirmed cases.
Washington County schools have been completely virtual for most of the school year. Now it could be another month before students return in person at all.
By that time, hopefully, a lot of their employees will have had their second vaccine.
Okay.
And I know a lot of them, that is very important to them.
The director of schools made a recommendation to start bringing students back on a staggered schedule after the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. It was made into a motion and failed.
The recommendation was just looking at the calendar, looking at what some of our neighboring school systems were doing, giving the board a little time to look at the infection rate and look in the quarantine rates, a little breathing room between now and the board meeting next week to see what they wanted to do with the school reopening plan.
The system has 369 people in quarantine or isolation.
Over the holidays, we did have an increase in the numbers. In the past few days, we did see a decrease. We expect to see a little bit of a increase in the numbers with the holidays where people traveled.
Some on the board say students should be back in the classroom.
I don't feel like they're learning like they need to be. I feel like some of the families is not doing what they need to be doing, and the kids needs to be back in school.
The board will meet again next week for their regular January meeting. They will also meet again toward the end of the month to have a workshop ahead of that February 1st meeting to discuss numbers ahead of making that decision. Live in Jonesboro, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.